and they get to have Ghost, who's just such good vibes, then that's only good things here for KT. But let's see what happens as we dive into the draft for game number 1.
Here's another thing, not last year, but the year before, when KT got that upset against GENG, which is that one series they beat them, it was on a new patch, right?
True.
And so maybe that's an angle as well. GENG sometimes not as quick on the new patch responding, so maybe. Those are the big ifs, right? We'll see. We'll see. Still think it's going to be favored towards GENG, and they do have first pick. And to no surprise, we're seeing... I feel like the thing is what ends up happening is all the picks... I mean, okay, with the exception of Nico, which is obviously we've seen loads of Nico, but stuff like Malphite and Jace, which is like new, they're just permabanned.
Yeah.
And then we end up with drafts which are like, well, we saw all this last year. So it feels like the exciting new stuff is just not allowed to be played.
Yeah, it's just on the ban list all the time. Speaking of which, we do have exactly those champions removed. The Azir as well. One thing that is just going to be taken away from BDD and Chovy the whole series. Orianna as well, another one. Big for both of these players. And so I think that these 5 champions will, like you say, just be banned every single game.
Yeah, the one I'm wondering about is that Rumble is still open.
Oh, true.
It's been a very common ban.
Vi as well has been banned a lot.
Yeah, especially Canyon has been pretty solid on Vi, but, you know, there's still a lot of jungle options open.
Well, let's see what the decision's going to be. It's just going to be Rumble. No, never mind. It's Ambessa.
Okay, will it be a first pick Rumble for Keen, or do they go in a different direction?
I'm going to write Rumble in right now. That's how confident I am.
There's also Yanara open.
It's going to be very difficult for me to cross out Rumble as well. It's a lot of letters.
Yes.
So I'm going to really... It's a hard commitment.
How big did you write it?
Like, it's the whole box.
Oh, you the whole boxed it?
The whole box.
You're saying...
You know what?
Save.
You know what? Never punished. Never punished at all. Okay. Talia is going to be the follow-up. Didn't write that one in, but Talia Vi is something that we've seen already from the bros. Didn't quite work out for them, but this is KT.
Immediately I think of AD carries like Yanara, Lucian, you know, the fun ones who happen to be short-ranged, feeling very uncomfortable into Talia Vi. So for Rula, maybe playing something like the Ezreal or the Corki and playing at range. Varus also something you can play at a long distance.
Yep, also Chains of Corruption and Equalizer are pretty good. This is a combination that has been used many, many times throughout the years. And Chovy's Yone.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It has. And this is a fun matchup as well. This was Chovy's most dominant game of all time was on Yone against BDD. Lock Syndra. He can't lock Syndra. He's already playing Talia.
They did change the... So tier 3 boots give 5% lifesteal if you go the Berserker Greaves.
Yep.
They did change crits, so it's like full crits, but they also did tone down Yasuo and Yone to compensate.
Yeah.
So
they're basically the same.
Yeah,
as they were.
You're not allowed.
That would be pretty silly.
You're not allowed to make those champions have full crits. It would be a bit absurd.
It's perfect Sante though. Up into the Rumble here for Keen. So I think with Canyon not showing his pick just yet, we are seeing a pretty solid top side of the map represented by KT, but a lot of power picks here on GENG's side with Chovy on the Yone as well, something that he has caused a massive ruckus on in the past.
Yeah, interesting as well. So they banned the Bard out. They're clearly trying to trim like defensive picks that you can sort of peel with, but not really putting any bans towards the jungle away from Canyon. Maybe thinking that there's just such a wide pool still available that it's like you could throw bans there, but how much value are you really going to get?
Yeah, and maybe like the Vi doesn't feel like you have too many things that you need to take away. Like what is a classic counter pick into a Vi? Don't really have too many things at the front of my mind right now.
I feel like Poppy was the OG, but she's been trimmed down so heavily.
And they will ban it anyway.
I guess, yeah. I mean, we did see it last series, Gideon doing a pretty good job with it, so
yep,
they will take that one away. Sivir going to be taken away. Obviously, something that we saw played quite a lot into the Varus with the spell shield as well. Because the Lethality Varus is what we've seen. Expectation is that's what we'll get here.
Yep.
Don't really think he'll get much time to auto-attack into Talia Vi.
I do not think so. I think he might be spending a lot of time trying to create screens away from his opposition. Speaking of champions that can do that, Ziggs, a little bit sad that Orcs has to have that one banned away. But Aiming is just now going to lock in Ezreal. I'm not going to write it in. I'm not that confident. But I do feel like he's probably going to play Ezreal.
think the lane's a little rough. I mean, it's something you can obviously play at range, but...
Oh, are they going to do a Felios Thresh again? That would be fun. Instead, it's a cow.
That's something that just gets kind of poked out at its distance by the Varus.
Well, Ghost looks pretty happy about it.
They are just going to go the Alistar. I mean, Alistar I think is pretty good in the Yone, because when he does his Unbound Soul, you can just headbutt him away. Disrupt him.
What about Jungle Sylas for Canyon?
Honestly?
Thoughts? Musings?
Honestly, that's some good ults.
That's some good ults. That's what I'm thinking.
You have the AD already.
I'm a bit frightened that that could be something that's coming on through. But we will see the Rakan, the consideration here for Duro to start us off. That will be locked away.
Yeah, a little risky
What are
playing the
you doing,
Rakan into the Talia, but definitely something he's confident with. And it looks like you might have had a great read there.
Should have written it down in the box.
Yeah.
Only 5 letters, though, so it wouldn't have been that much of a commitment. But still, this feels so strong. And Sylas has been doing pretty well in the jungle at the same time. Feels like everything's kind of a jungler. But never mind, just going to be moving over to a Xin Zhao. Come on, Canyon, have some fun.
That feels like he's like, oh, it'd be so cool if I picked Sylas here. And it's just like...
And he realized that he's at work.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it kind of felt like to me.
If you're in solo queue, you're definitely picking Sylas then. It's like, no.
Maybe they want to hold on to the Sylas pick for game 2 in case of a Malphite scenario. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're thinking down the line.
Maybe.
As Ghost will be thinking about the Ezreal for aiming, and we'll be locking that one away. So at least I got that one right.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like Corki could have been an angle as well, although I guess not as much of an aiming pick. I mean, it's a playable lane, but I feel like you are going to get poked out a decent amount by the Varus. And with the Rakan as well, they're going to have more sustain than you in the 2v2. So I think, honestly, GENG pretty happy with what they got in this situation.
I feel like KT are probably not too worried about it as well, though. I feel like Perfect is going to have a really fun game if he can survive the lane. I feel like Casantes have been doing better and better into the Rumble over time. But then, you know, once you build some AD, build some armor, there's a Xin Zhao, a Yone, and a Varus that you're going to not be too worried about, especially if it's Lethality Varus. The armor just feels so much better.
Yep.
So Perfect might be having a bit of a moment here. And I feel like in their first series, Perfect was looking pretty good, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it was looking pretty stable. And again, that's what you have to be in this lane matchup. Once you get that first item, that Koenig Rukin, it's pretty hard to like really lose out into the Rumble to get pressured out. So we'll see if you can just get to that point and navigate it. Yep, like the mid jungle for KT tends to be the pressure point, but especially with this composition, so we'll see what they can do.
Yep, it was going to be the most important part of this draft regardless, but it's also just based on the picks going to be absolutely huge. And especially when you've got Chovy's Yone to contend with, could be difficult. Let's get into it. Well, a little bit of a slow start to the fan chants for GENG as well. I wonder whether that was by design. I feel like that would really be, you know, good for sticking up with the GENG vibes.
So actually, I'm just looking at the changes for the crit damage with Yone.
Yeah.
And he's got a little bit more crit damage before IE, and then a bit less after IE. But obviously, IE has more AD on it, so... But it is still... He's still faring a bit better, I would say.
And it's exactly the same change as Yasuo, right? They just literally copy-pasted the text.
Yes.
It's very funny.
Yes.
I liked what they did there.
Yeah.
That was All right, Ghost having fun with a headbutt, which is, I mean, that's the most fun you get at level 1, is that one headbutt that you get in lane.
But it is one of the nice things playing this 2v2 with the Ezreal into the Varus, is this is the point where the Ezreal really has the advantage over the Varus. You spam those Qs.
Yep.
So the Alistar. We've seen so many Alistars just get completely bullied out level 1, and for once not getting that case. But I feel like once we sort of get level 2, level 3, that's where GENG's bot lane is going to get a lot more momentum, especially because the Rakan can just heal out so many trades.
Yeah, I actually, I do feel like it's probably better for Alistar than it could have been in some other lanes, right? It's like not Karma or Nico or something like that that can be really punishing. But Rakan is frustrating. I always discount the Gleaming Quill heals. I never quite give it the credit it deserves, as Chovy unbinds the soul, has a decent trade into B2D. He looks to get in front of the minion wave just to put the pressure onto Chovy.
And Keen's gone first strike, so he's trying to print as much money as possible in this matchup.
Yeah, Chovy also able to do a fair bit of damage towards B2D here, but both of the mid laners looking a little worse for wear. And yeah, Chovy pretty good. Yone.
See, the thing is, right, I always think you need context in stats, right?
Got it.
And yes, this win rate's very good for Chovy on Yone. But you know what? Chovy just has a pretty good win rate.
He does have a pretty good win rate.
Like
what's his Galio win rate again? Is it still 100%? It's not, right? It's a little bit not 100%, but it's very, very close.
But especially when you think about like GENG's recent domestic win rate, like...
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of champions.
It's just pure LCK stats are just kind of not okay.
Yeah, they're kind of absurd. So, I mean, I'm not saying this to like dispute. Like, Chovy is very good at Yone. I'm just adding a little bit of context that like, he has a lot of stats like that.
Yeah.
Chovy's just pretty good. And does a lot of winning.
He does. And they might be continuing to do so here today. Just have to find out. B2D going back very early on in this lane to collect himself a tier. Same thing to be said for Chovy. Has gone for the fleet footwork just to keep himself as healthy as possible in this laning phase. Oh,
nice little ward at the Krugs that will spot out Canyon in a little bit, I think.
Yeah, he's right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be his first camp that is up and available.
Do you see Keen like completely covered himself defensively? I think Cuz was looking for a gank angle, but Keen wants to make sure he can keep pushing and won't get challenged here. So, just get the crystalline overgrowth proc. And just trying to farm as much money as possible. And Canyon does notice that he's been spotted, but is spotted nonetheless.
Yeah, does manage to clear out the ward. As Keen, with the Flame Spitter, is just making sure that Perfect has the worst time possible. That is continuing to be the case. As Perfect, as long as he picks up as many minions as he can, it's probably going to be all right. Just wanting to weather the storm as much as he can into this Rumble. The problem with First Strike, though, is that, like, yes, you're going to take a beating in lane, but as you're taking a beating in lane, you're like losing so much money to the opponent. It compounds the feeling of bad.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean the Rumble doesn't have phase rush, so if you get ganked or in some of those skirmishes, you just don't have as much of that mobility. You can often see like the Rumble procs it and then uses that extra mobility to kind of like, you know, just slam with the passive where you punch them with a drill.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the extra comet damage as well.
Yeah, but if you end up in a non-interactive scenario on lane where like the junglers don't come over and you're just farming, it's great. You end up with more gold, and obviously Rumble loves gold.
Ooh, Chovy having to flash. It's a really good start here, as Cuz getting engaged on by Canyon, though. The flash has to be used by him as well to get himself out of there. So mid lane flash for the jungle flash. And pretty even Stevens as far as that trade is concerned.
Yeah, I think it was a bit unfortunate for Chovy because he literally hit a minion just after that and hit level 6. So if he'd had his 6 before that play, would have been able to use his ult to get away from it. Obviously a much shorter cooldown, but does put a lot of pressure on BDD there and will force him to recall. But I think that's the state of the game at the moment. It's that recalls are just kind of whatever because the home guard power is so high. Now, I do like that Perfect's gone for a bit of a proxy here. The more you can avoid actually interacting and trading with Keen, the better. Don't let him use his first strike, so he's
he's doing it again.
Yeah,
we are clearing out every single wave. We'll be able to go for a bit of a reset here, and like you say, with the home guard, means that he will not miss anything. We'll have some time to do a little jig while he makes his way back to lane at the same time. And so the Cassante also avoiding just taking too much damage from the Rumble and the first strike is a really cool move. Like that one a lot. Chovy back to lane here, up against BDD. Throws out the ulti actually and collects BDD already because he's in position. And so just going to be softening up the Talia as she comes back from base.
Yep, saw an angle where he could just land it, connect it, and gets a heavy trade in. Doesn't mean he's down with that, but that's the thing, right? You use it, and then it's working that cooldown back, so...
Yeah. And BDD going to eat some honey fruit, and he'll be absolutely fine. Not really too much to write home about, as we're seeing slight lane advantage here towards the bottom side and the top side. Mid lane very, very even. In the jungle, pretty similar story. As we get out of lane, and as 2-atom spikes are being hit, things like that, I think aiming is going to be feeling a little bit better. We know that he's very confident on his Ezreal.
I wonder what boots BDD is going to go, because we've seen the Ionians be really common on the Talia for the movement speed, so it's probably those, but...
Steel caps feel pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say the steel caps value is really high here for that extra durability. For those who don't know, they buffed the boots between like before when you got them for the feats of strength. Now it's 10% max health in the shield instead of 4%, so the value is actually pretty insane. When there's triple AD between like the Yone, the Xin Zhao, and the Varus, but I mean, movement speed is pretty good, so we'll see where he ends up going. Obviously, the Berserker Greaves for Chovy feel kind of mandatory. And obviously, the lifesteal definitely a nice stat.
Yeah, that one's definitely coming through as BDD doesn't quite find the big boulder. As flash in from Ruler just looks to try and kill BDD. All right, well, that's one way.
Yeah, it was a ward there that spotted him out. Would have been crazy if he just reacted to the R flash from Ruler coming out of the rush, but did have the ward, did have the vision, so able to deny it. But Ruler does end up burning the flash, but it's a trade.
Yeah. Aiming now with a little bit of spare time for himself as he does get a bit of added damage towards Duro. But Ruler will be able to make his way back towards this lane pretty comfortably. Even delivers a nice little piercing arrow. So no harm, no foul, but will not have the flash for lane. That does mean that Ghost and Aiming is gonna be feeling a little bit better.
Ghost and Aiming are doing pretty good in this lane. Like, I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where you could just get poked out by the Varus. Okay, I say that.
Yeah.
They are starting to get poked out a little bit.
That is the scenario you were talking about.
A lot easier to get hit by the piercing arrows, and also you land poke back, and there's the Gleaming Quill value from the Rakan. But so far they've been keeping relatively even in the lane, so not doing too bad. But I thought that's the thing with Ezreal. You obviously want to be like poking down your opponents, landing those skill shots, but I think Lethality Varus just does it a little better in the laning phase.
Well, Cousin BDD coming on over to grab themselves some grubs. They'll at least be able to get the first one. It looks like they are going to collect all of them pretty comfortably. It was in trade for the Dragon. It did go over to GENG earlier. They do have a mountain to their name. Next one going to be an ocean. We'll have a look at what the soul is going to be. What are we feeling? I think it's probably Chemtech Soul time.
Oh man, no.
That's what I think. I mean, Orcs is here. He was paying very close attention in our first series, but you know, Matt, now we've had a bit of time off. You ate delicious homemade hummus earlier, and so you're probably just feeling a little bit more confident, comfortable, and not exactly paying attention. So it's probably going to be a Chemtech Soul. That's what I'm thinking.
It's solid logic. It's hard to argue with, but I really hope it isn't.
Yeah, me too. Chovy's going to get flung back here momentarily. BDD on the Talia. This is one of his most iconic picks. And Talia herself has not really been finding very much success here in the LCK so far. I don't think it's exactly her fault, but did start off with 2 losses very early on in the LCK Cup. That's all right, Ghost and Duro, Portal Combat.
I think there was that game that...
Do you notice as well, Ghost is playing Beryl's skin? All right, Chovy looking for the combo here as Huz going to turn up, but that is a great quickness. BDD still alive somehow, holding on for so long. Finally, Chovy gets over there and finds an auto attack, and down will go BDD for first blood. As under the turret they go, but Ghost is going to be able to walk his way out. Man, that was almost comical with the fact that BDD survived for so long, but was basically a dead man walking.
I think the value Duro got there was just absolutely massive on the Rakan. Able to get the sweep them up, and I think, honestly, KT not losing more there can be okay with it, but obviously not how they want the skirmish to go. Quickness comes in, Ghost knocks him up, but then sweeps up 2, gets a double knock-up. Disruption comes in, Ghost and Cuz peeling to try and keep BDD alive, but he's so low, there's just no way to do it. And they kind of realize they have to disengage.
Yeah.
Nimbus Cloak keeps Ghost safe.
Canyon's also got a massive amount of value in that fight at the same time. And so, very nicely done, but only 1 kill. Still a 2,000 gold lead as a result. It's kind of nutty. I think they were able to collect a bunch of other stuff as well.
You've gotten the kill there. Ruler started bully aiming at a lane and got a couple of plates. Top lane, Keen's just been playing the money printer games.
Yeah.
So that's where the gold leads come from.
BDD just built a wall, and now you've got GENG taking a fair bit of damage. True Shot Barrage does go wide. KT will gain control of this Dragon area. That is up and available. We'll see whether they can actually continue to take control, as now Chovy closes in on BDD. Has to get out of the way of the seismic shove, but still wins a trade pretty comfortably. And GENG, I feel like they're sort of just naturally finding advantages over and over again. This is very similar to the domestic GENG that we saw in 2025. And that GENG did not lose. And now they'll just take Dragon as well.
Yeah. And BDD already low, especially when you're against... Oh, TP's coming in.
Yeah, a lot of teleports from coming all over the place. As there's a seismic shove, does collect a couple of them. As now Duro getting thrown to the side, but cease and desist is not going to do much of anything at all, and Ghost is just going to die. It is 2 into the blender, and GENG now 3 on the board, and a 4,000 gold lead with 2 Drakes to their name. And man, oh, Cloud Soul, chef's kiss. You love to see it.
I was locked in. I was focused, but I just feel like GENG so much more coordinated, and KT a little bit split with the fight. Cuz taken down before he could even ult, and Ghost didn't really get any help out there. Feels like this is textbook GENG from what we saw last year. Oh, BDD.
Yeah, Chovy underneath the turret, and not going to be too worried about it. Snaps back, takes the stun with him, but doesn't really matter too much at all.
So you see, everyone's quite split. Like, Ezreal is miles away when this fight starts. Duro preps the ult, immediately CC's Cuz. Cuz gets exploded. BD's trying to help over the wall, but like aiming is only just there now. Perfect and Cuz were trying to help, but like the fight's over before. I just feel like KT didn't really offer any real resistance.
Yeah.
And GENG were immediately a 5-man unit. And Duro starting the fight off with that immediate pick. His Rakan has already been getting so much value.
Yeah, Duro looking like a bit of a POM frontrunner at the moment, but still very early days. And Ruler now parking himself in this mid lane against BDD for the moment, but I believe we will have aiming probably moving over there as Ghost spotted on this ward, looking to Hex Flash his way out. We'll be able to do so. As, yeah, a few things missing, but that's okay. Aiming now has the Trinity Force completed as well. And unfortunately, BDD decided not to go for the Steel Caps. It is the Boots of Lucidity once again.
Yeah, and both AD carries are spotted. This has been the common thing now, are going triple tonic and cashback.
Oh, cease and desist onto Ruler. They will be able to catch him out. And there is Aiming collecting himself a bit more money.
That's a nice pickup. As I was saying, so triple tonic, pretty strong. You know, you get the three potions that give you the value. The first one gives gold, second one gives temporary adaptive force, the third one gives a skill point. But the cashback, the reason we're seeing this a lot on AD carries is because obviously you get gold back every time you buy an item. And with the new AD carry quest, there's not much to say about this, you could do anything.
Yeah.
With the new AD carry quest, you're getting more items than ever. So
true.
It's 8% cashback on each item, and it means that when you have a big purchase like a Triforce, you know, you're immediately getting that extra gold back for a little bit of extra value. So
and getting towards 2 items,
and then some.
Yeah, getting towards 2 items feels incredibly good, especially for an Ezreal.
Yeah,
I can understand it. Seraphs is now done here for BDD, but it doesn't feel the greatest. Helping be a bit more durable as, yeah, Keen gonna get Vol broken. And perfect diving in, but the flash immediate, and Keen should be able to get himself to relative safety. Now Chovy with some spare time towards his top side. I don't know whether Ghost is going to be enough to deter
trying his best.
This Yone, yeah.
Yeah, Cuz didn't have ult there on the bot side, so kind of touch and go with a Keen. 100% needed ult, but I think he was just scared of Cassante getting in range, so I think maybe did have to, but either way, able to shake off the gank. But it's GENG picking up that Herald and keeping up the pressure on the top side. I think as well, Chovy with Blade of the Rune King and the Gunmetal Greaves, the upgraded Berserker Greaves, has so much lifesteal already on this unit. It's really hard to actually like go up against him in a side lane because like BDD doesn't have that much damage. Like he has the Seraphs.
Yeah,
he's not. It's going to take a while to chunk through him. Actually, BDD hasn't completed his quest yet. Has just completed it.
As you said it, was able to upgrade those shoes, but it certainly did feel like it took him a very long time.
I will say mid-quest compared to other quests, it's not that big of a deal if you're late. Like 80 carry and top, the later you are, like you're losing value.
Yeah, they're sort of like scaling quests.
Yeah, jungle as well is another one. And even support, because like you get the cheaper control awards, and we know LCK supports by 1 million control awards.
Exactly.
But mid is the one where like it's, other than the actual item strength, it's not that big of a deal. Whereas AD carry, jungle, and top, you're losing either gold or experience, or in jungle's case, both. But he does have those upgraded Ionians for the extra movement speed. We did talk about that earlier. Is going for the movement speed rather than the defensive value.
Chovy going to be able to finish this one off by the looks of things, and yeah, BDD not going to be able to deter him from that one.
But it's so hard, like he does, what, like 30% of his health? And he is recalling, but even if he didn't, he would just heal up off the next wave so easily.
Yeah. All right, Ghost now in position to maybe be in a bit of trouble. Decides to go forward. Is now perfect. Looks for the all-out angle. Let's see who's going to pick up as everyone's getting knocked up all over the place. The Unbreakable Will from Ghost getting a lot of value, but there's the Equalizer. Speaking of value, as the Barbecue walks his way in, and Keen looks to try and burn them down. The Cow is going to be okay, though, for now. Duro going down very low himself. As now Canyon looking to try and get in there, but it's perfect. That's his target, and he's extraordinarily durable. Chovy not able to find too much of a target, but it's Soul Point on the table, and GENG, I think, are just able to take it.
Yeah, it was such a scrappy engage from KT, but they just weren't quite able to find Ruler. I feel like that was their target. Weren't able to connect onto him, and as a result, GENG's able to push forwards and take the Dragon. And now looking for mid-tier 1.
Yeah, Rift Herald going to be utilized as well as Chovy comes in. There's the ulti sidestepped really nicely, and there's the combo. Chovy punished, and the turret is going to finish him off. Aiming collects that kill. Cease and desist now onto Duro, as in the meantime in the bot lane, Perfect in trouble. He'll be taken down, but Duro dies as well. So cross map, it is a 2-for-1.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get anything more, if they can get the turret in return, but I think it's still a bit healthy. I guess Ruler can't walk up, but he can clear the wave from distance. No, I think he's zoned off too far, goes to the Hex Splash. I think they should just get this.
Yep, Crystalline Overgrowth also helping them out there, so that is going to be that extra plate. And with the cannon, they should be able to do this. They also have 3 grubs, so this turret not long for the world. So that is that one taken down, but I believe the outer also fell in the bottom lane as immediately, you can see there.
And the mid one is super low on the other side. KT's mid-tier 1 is really low, so that would go down quickly. But this was just a bit of an overstep. So this initial play, Duro pops the ult and like interrupts the combo from Ghost.
Pulverize.
Yeah, so that was great peel from Duro, great disruption. And considering Ruler didn't have flash, the fact he gets back to the tower is insane. That whole passage of play fails because of that. And Cuz had ult still. He knew the intent was to kill Ruler, ult Ruler, take him out. And I think Duro did a phenomenal job of disrupting there. But then they burnt all those cooldowns, had to back away, and then it just kind of turned into this sporadic play where Keen and Canyon punished Perfect, and then Chovy just overstepped. I think as soon as you saw Ghost there, and the seismic shove, you could have just pressed E and snapped back, but he felt himself a little bit too much.
Yeah, he was a bit sleepy, wanted to stay in the dreamland, didn't want to snap back to reality just yet. Understandable, but was to his death. Unfortunately, still doing just fine, 1.8k about ahead of B2D in this game, and GENG holding on to their advantage with now a Soul Point alongside it. But Cease and Desist comes down onto Canyon. Equalizer in once again, and Cuz has to deal with that one. Gets the big old shield though, and down goes Canyon with no response from GENG. That's beautifully done, but there is no Drake on the table. It's probably a decent time for Canyon to die, to be perfectly honest with you, especially with Chovy getting such work done here towards the top side. Yeah,
not really able to translate it into any objectives, but I do like that KT's answering back. When we think about how the gold lead was so significant early for GENG, it's smaller than it was way earlier in the game. They're keeping it within an arm's length, and it means one big team fight could be it for KT to get this back. I mean, you look at the fact that aiming is 4-0, approaching that big spike for the Ezreal with the Muramana and the Triforce. Muramana nearly stacked and has a significant goal lead over Ruler right now. And here, it looks like Cuz is so close to going down with the burn from the Equalizer, but gets that Q off to the side, and the shield comes in from Perfect, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, so
like trying to figure it out, I'm like, that's not what a Vi shield looks like.
Pretty clutch there to keep him alive through the burns. And again, you know, that kill doesn't translate into much, but it's a big gold here, big gold there. Just keeping the game close enough. It's Dragon in a minute 40 and there's Souls. That's a delicate point. I think the movement speed, especially with a lot of these champions on the side of GENG, can be really frustrating to deal with. Rakan in particular is one we often talk about.
Yeah. And Chovy really wanted that plate. Is not going to be able to find it just yet. B2D also doing the same thing here towards the top side of the map. And that is going to provide even more respite here for KT.
Yeah.
Lowering their way back.
Chovy's a menace in the side lane, and the problem is Perfect has cloth armor and no other armor at all. Against a Blade of the Rune King, I
feel like I understand it, right? Because he wants to not die to Keen. But Keen is the only one that's doing magic damage. And I guess Yone does do mixed damage, blah, blah, blah. But I still feel like you want to, like, maybe you could have the Rook Urn, but maybe all of the other items need to, like, not be magic resist.
Yeah, I think, like, Merc Treads makes sense for the tenacity, but like I feel like you needed a prior armor after that. You know? Especially if you're now being sent against the Yone, like a Blade of the Ruin King, if you're all health and MR, it does not feel good. So
No.
30 seconds though on this dragon. You see TP coming in from Keen, that will give him that big shield. He's not quite level 16 though. If you can get some extra experience on this wave and hit level 16 before he ults, that'd be big.
Yeah, Chovy has unbound the soul. Is just getting as much information as he can find. Cuz goes over that wall, grouping up with the rest of the team now. A teleport in.
Oh, look how close
from
Keen is to
Perfect.
16.
Yeah, Ghost possibly tagged here. My goodness, that poke is kind of ridiculous. As KT get control of the wave, as the dragon has been started off here by GENG. It's very healthy though. They are more healthy than they were in the past. As Ghost still has the Unbreakable Will, but he might need to use it a little bit earlier than he'd otherwise want to, as the dragon continuing to get taken down. As BDD looking for an angle, doesn't find the flick back, as the wall is now going to dissipate. As Duro wants to get in there. Equalizer goes down. Not a lot of joy with that one, as there is Ghost being cleansed quite nicely. As, oh, they're into the blender. Chovy gets into the backline, and Ruler takes down the cow. But look at these health bars. GENG somehow keep themselves alive, as the carries from KT, they just couldn't finish anyone off. BDD's taken out, and there is Keen with the burn. It is somehow a clean ace for GENG and CloudSoul.
GENG team fighting at its best. 5-0 there. But I think a big thing for me was Keen on the flank, just threatening the backline constantly. So we obviously have the blender that happens towards the dragon, but he equalizes here, goes up to aiming, chunks him on the top side. Like, look how low aiming gets, and him and BDD are like so concerned about Keen, and then this blender happens, the engage comes in again, Keen threatening the backline. So when this mixed fight happens, BDD and aiming just weren't able to participate because this Rumble was just running them down the whole time. Keen getting so much value in that fight.
Keen just kind of massive in this game. I was going to talk about it earlier on, didn't have an opportunity to, but he just sort of slowly but surely got himself to like 3 items. 3-0-3 right now on the Rumble.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went cashback as well, so he's just printing money to like an absurd degree. And the thing is, he's so leveled as well because he's a top laner, so...
They're just like, GENG's just playing Accountants League of Legends right now.
Literally just... You know, the thing is, we always talk about how GENG just kind of like make gold appear from nowhere. They're literally just... They're just cooking the books, right? At this point. They are just...
I think they've got tariffs out or something like that, making sure they get all that money back or something. That's all right. Okay. Let's see what they can use this Baron for already. A 1,500 Rebel Baron power play on the table.
We need to put GENG in charge of the economy because they figured it out.
Yeah, things are looking a little rough here in Korea, so we can maybe get a little bit of help. All right. There is going to be a little flick back onto Canyon, though. Grand entrance not quite connecting onto BDD. Chovy now with an Infinity Edge, though. Ox, I am just worried.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That is a scary amount of damage. And also the poke from Ruler, a lot of threat if the hit. I mean, I say the poke from Ruler, also the harpoons from Keen. We saw what happened to Ghost earlier. The attrition that's coming in. I feel like KT at some point just had to engage, but like onto who? Ruler has the spell shield as well. Oh, Chovy.
Yeah, going for the block there. Cuz, good position, and he is just going to be thrown into... Yeah, thrown around like a ragdoll.
That's a good target. Yeah. And now looking to maybe engage on the top side. Look at Cuz and BDD on the flank.
Yep, getting over there. There is a control ward in position, but the rest of KT, they have a man advantage. Let's see whether they can make something happen. Chains of Corruption does not land. Canyon might be the sacrificial Xin Zhao as he's taken down low already. Perfect, just trying to hold them at bay as the rest of KT are closing in. Equalizer is great, though. Let's see whether GENG can turn it around. Already aiming is taken out, but Canyon has to sacrifice himself for it. Perfect, keeping himself alive as Keen goes golden, and he's got the flame spitter out. Cuz is still so dangerous, so is Keen. Flashes on top of BDD, and this Rumble is just too strong, even in a 4 versus 5. GENG are too good.
Keen just runs them down. He did to aiming as well. He got CC'd and he just ran at him and just cooked him. Every fight is just impossible for KT's carries because they're just getting toasted by Keen.
Maybe there's a reason why we've been seeing Rumble banned almost every single game so far.
You know, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And this was a good pick. I actually think like the right idea here. I was like, the game's looking difficult. You need a pick. You need to engage. They find Chovy. This is the correct moves from KT. You can't fault them for what they're doing here. And then they're trying to navigate this next point.
민규야 그 상태도 노플.
네,
Yeah.
다 높을.
Coach Voice did come through here as well to give as much information over to GENG as possible. And here is the
And then
replay.
here, so watch aiming. Aiming gets engaged onto here. And then I'm pretty
So
sure Keen,
far away
Keen
from the
just,
fight as well.
I'm pretty sure Keen just charges into him and just melts him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Canyon dives on top of him. He gets knocked up by the 3 Talon strike, and then Keen just puts him in the
My
barbecue.
favorite thing is it's like a horror film. BDD's like, I'm so far away. And it's just like, no,
No, you're not.
you're not enough. Oh, man.
Not far enough.
Especially with the Cloud Soul as well. He's so
Yeah.
fast.
Oh, it's kind of absurd. Okay, Keen 5-0, 5 right now on the Rumble. Yeah, this guy is kind of ridiculous. He's got a Magize. He's got a Magize Ox.
He's cooking.
He is certainly cooking. Chovy going to be able to take down this inner turret as well, and all of a sudden, it's an 11,000 gold lead.
You know, I think as well the fact it's a Cloud Soul. You know, you often have the phase rush on the Rumble,
Yep.
and that movement speed really valuable. But the fact you have the Cloud Soul now, it just means he's zooming
Like
the 10 stack.
infinitely. Yeah.
The 10 stack Medjais as well for the extra movement
Yeah.
speed. So, you know, even when you have like aiming with the Arcane Shift, like he Arcane Shifts, and Keen just closes the gap still. He just runs him down with a Scrap
Yeah.
Shield, movement speed too.
You need to arcane shift to somewhere where he can't just right-click you.
The fountain, maybe.
Yeah, over a wall would be good.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the only way to relative safety. And even then, you need to get the hell away from that wall as well, because he might just harpoon you to death. So it's just a little bit rough. Right now, GENG, full control.
Elder 45. You know,
Oh, there we go.
maybe
Flip.
just flip the Elder.
Yeah.
I think GENG should not flip the Elder.
Well, they might, as Duro possibly in an awkward position here as the equalizer goes down. Perfect is very, very dead. And Duro with the quickness is just hunting down members of KT. Aiming gets charmed up. The Ghost has to flash to get himself out of the way, and I don't know whether that's going to be enough to keep him alive. And it is not, as Ruler picks up the double. There's Chains of Corruption as well to lock down 3 for GENG, and BDD is getting the
that
heck
was
out
a
of
great
dodge.
Call. That was a great call, BDD.
Yes.
No, keep going to the base. Yeah, great call from GENG. Don't flip the Elder. Just kill them. It's that simple.
It's a good way to do it. They could go back to the Elder now, or they could kill the Nexus. It's either of those choices that they have available to them. Yeah, smorgasbord of options, not so many on the side of KT.
Yeah, I think playing it safe. The timers are a little short, and there's a lot of wave clear in the Talia, and they don't have Barons, so they're just going to go there. But here, Duro comes in with the quickness, goes to the teammate, W's in, gets 2, and then flashes to follow aiming. There's not the immediate follow-up onto him, but then Ruler ends up, I think, predicting... Oh.
All right, got a little bit of an engagement here as BDD took most of his health bar in damage. The Elder, though, in the meantime, is just going down lower and lower. Trisha Barrage! So close, but no cigar. Perfect is going to get eaten by a gigantic dragon from the sky. No, never mind, he's just going to get cooked
Cuz,
alive
run!
by Keen, as yeah, Cuz
No,
also
Ghost,
just getting
leave!
chipped down. Ghost, no, he's like, no! My teammates will not die before me! And that may be the case, as never mind. Oh, Cuz, burning. Still trying to go for it here. As nice double pulverize, bit of a zoning.
Oh my god, the damage.
Seismic shove is, yeah, that's just kind of ridiculous. As Canyon's going to be able to help take down Ghost there. Perfect, still dead for a while as well as KT. They are circling the drain well and truly. I hope the comms are all about what they're going to do in game number 2 and probably being pretty happy that there is going to be no Rumble in that game.
Yeah.
Because in this game, Keen kind of took over and there was nothing that they could do.
Yeah, the money printer Rumble goes hard.
It certainly does. As there's a knock-up onto Cuz. Oh, the Dragon almost got mad at him, but he's on the fountain, so that's going to help him stay alive. It may not be the same for the Nexus, though, as they have some respawning members, and Equalizer goes down as, oh my goodness, GENG just trying to pad the stats here a little bit as, oh my god, the Hungry Dragon is able to take down Cuz. A double kill here for Ruler as he's sniping them on the fountain, bobbing for apples here at the end of the game. Just kill the Nexus, guys, come on. As Ruler is going to go down, and that is going to spell the end of the game. GENG 1-0 over KT.
Yeah, I think GENG still good at team fighting.
I think GENG are pretty good, yeah.
Still good at macro, still good at making money. Keen still good at Rumble. Yeah. Who would have believed that if you took GENG, put them in the LCK, didn't change their roster from last year, they're still pretty good.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
honestly.
You know, this breaking expectations.
Yeah.
But it's still only game 1, and KT definitely have opportunity to bounce back. But You know, the point you raised earlier was a phenomenal one. No more Rumble, I
Yeah.
think, is a great thing for KT.
I would say that's a huge boon. They've also taken away the Keen Sante at the same time, so maybe this is all part of KT's master plan for a win in Game 3.
They do need a win in Game 2 to win in Game 3.
That is true. But if they do win in Game 2, that's when we can start talking about it. Yeah, I mean, the damage is just disgusting, isn't it? That's almost 4 times as much as what Perfect was able to do. And of course, I mean, a Cassante is just not going to do that much damage. But Keen just kind of ran the whole game.
Yep.
There's not much more we can say. The fact that aiming wasn't able to really do anything either, they just got so incredibly outranged by Ruler at the same time. And yeah, GENG just doing some domestic GENG things, but what an incredible performance it was. And we'll see whether they can get themselves another victory here to help them stay in front as far as Team Baron is concerned. Time for us to take a short break. When we get back, the Space is going to break that one down and see whether they have any other insights apart from don't let Keen play Rumble ever.
It is a good one, though.
I mean, that's a good one. We'll start with that, and we'll see what else they have for us after this short break. We'll see you soon.
미드원들 풀 없어. 미드원들 노플이야. 나 12초 공 타워 먼저.
산테 나은 거.
산테 노플 녹음.
잡을만한데 다. 와우.
야, 다음 때려 죽여. 죽여. 나 팔. 아씨, 진짜 뭐. 늙었어.
Battle, especially with how Game 1 went, and really just how Keen took over the game. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think often Perfect has been pretty good at neutralizing, but I think Keen really, the way he was playing Rumble was capitalizing on that. Like, oh, you want to play neutral? Well, I'm going to print money on the back of that and then just be a monster in team fights. So
That is precisely what happened. The Azir going to be the second ban here, going to remain on the ban list as the Jace, also just definitely always going to be taken away. So, need an Orianna ban, need a Malphite ban, and I guess if you wanted to keep it all the same, then an Ambassador ban could come through as well. That Ambassador ban should have been a Rumble, but hopefully KT have learnt from that one now. Let's see how this one's going to go, as this time around it is going to be GENG on the blue side, first pick priority over to KT, and we'll see whether they can make the most of it here. Speaking of making the most of it, a lot of time has now passed before that Orianna ban does come on through.
I also wonder, is there something you want to leverage as KT?
Ban Silas.
And ban... What do you say?
You ban Silas and then you force him to ban Malphite, and then you get one of the other things, like Ambessa.
Yeah, but is Ambessa like that crazy that you're like, oh, we first pick it?
They want Rise.
They want Rise, but Malphite's still open.
Huh. Well, Malphite has also lost every game he's played.
Okay, think about this, right? Think about this.
I'll try.
GENG ban Rise,
Okay,
right?
I'm thinking about it.
If KT first pick Malphite, you can just take Silas.
True.
And Silas is a flex. You know Canyon would play a jungle as well. I mean,
True.
King would probably even play at top. So, you just take Silas and figure it out later.
Well, they banned the Malphite.
Okay, then it's Rise first pick.
That probably means that Chovy has a plan into said rise. But I mean, I'm happy to write it in big letters into the box because this one was pretty telegraphed. Let's see what the answer is going to be here, though.
I do like what KT have done to really cement this as like a, we're going for the strong first pick and we're trying to like limit options into it. To be fair though, we haven't seen the Cassiopeia be 100% successful into the rise, but definitely giving BDD the best tools possible, and he has often been the main character for KT.
It is weird though, because
time.
Cassiopeia can wear shoes again.
Yeah, has changed things up.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense. Like, where does she wear them? Like, I don't know.
I also think Yunara in this position, like Yunara game 1 can sometimes be a little finicky just because you have things like, I mean, you look at the picks that were in game 1, right?
Yeah,
Vi, Talia, Alistair, Rakan, but they're all gone now. So a lot more freedom for this. Does put pressure on KT to pick some lockdown for this. And Genji looking at the Anivia into the rise. This is something we've seen as a counter into the rise a few times in the past few years.
Yeah, this was actually at Worlds, something that Chovy managed to find a bit of success on as well. Sort of drifting around the meta during the end of last year.
Yeah, and it also, it makes it a bit difficult because you really either want something that outranges it or something that can close the distance, but she's just so good at keeping things at bay. And KT picking Renekton, which, I mean, if you find a flank angle, sure, but otherwise, she can kind of just keep Renekton, kind of hold him. It's like when you put your arm out and hold someone's forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, the Renekton not exactly, it doesn't have very long arms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's just going to be waggling his little arms.
Maybe
around.
related to a T-Rex.
Yeah, a little bit like that. He is a dinosaur, after all.
I do like the Wukong though, but you know, Wukong syncs really well with Rakan, and that's off the cards. I also think that like often into Yunara, we've seen like in the previous series, Nautilus was super heavily prioritized, but Nautilus into Anivia is so miserable.
Yeah, that does not sound like a lot of fun.
So horrible.
Can help him reset his dredge line though by putting up an extra wall.
Yeah, helpful.
There you go. Okay, it's a Scion that will be locked in here for Keen. Just going to neutralize the lane instead of going for anything fun. I was thinking maybe there was going to be a Gnar or a Cannon, but instead just decides to pick a Scion and provide as much space for Ruler as possible. It's kind of what this one is all about. Already a lot of peel tools available for this Yunara, and not a lot of range represented by KT.
Yep, this is just really solid front to back being solidified by Genji. It's going to be difficult to close the distance. Lulu ban coming out is no real surprise at all. We've seen Lulu, Yunara prioritized quite heavily. The question is, what are KT going to pick that's going to help close the gap? I feel like in terms of engaged supports, like Leona could make sense. Because obviously compared to other engaged supports who have to like try and close the distance and can be blocked out, she can throw the Solar Flare, stops the Glacial Storm from the Anivia. They're going to focus on AD carry bans, taking away the Aphelios and the Corki.
Well, let's see what this final ban is going to be. I imagine...
Are you worried about Bard, maybe?
Yeah, Brad could be an option.
Like, that can disrupt the engage.
It's Poppy instead.
For the Poppy again.
Well, I mean, there were no junglers locked in just yet. And so wanting to make sure that Canyon cannot play it. Also flexible into the support role at the same time. So no flexy shenanigans. But Genji, they have their first pick here after our last round of bans. And let's see what they are going to be locking away. Could be a support, could be a jungler. I imagine jungle is probably where they're going to look and then allow a rounding out of the bottom lane once they see exactly what KT are going to be running down there. And the Ambessa is what Canyon's looking at. And that will be locked in. That's a lot of power here out of the jungle. We saw Lucid go completely ballistic on this champion only recently.
Yeah, can farm pretty fast. And also with a lot of sort of mid-range or short-range champions, you can kind of get stuck in and just melt them. Aiming, considering a Sivir. Movement speed obviously nice if you're trying to close the distance, but is quite short-ranged. Ziggs is longer-ranged.
All right, well, the Ziggs is going to be the decision.
So longer range, better at dealing with the Anivia by far, but not going to do much into the Scion. And the Nautilus, I would not want to play Nautilus into this composition.
Well,
good into the Yunara though, I will say that.
Yeah, yeah, if you cover everything other than the Yunara, then it feels like a slam dunk, absolutely. Let's see what else is going to be paired alongside said Yunara though, because yeah, his time could be getting even worse as Duro is thinking about some horse pants and will be locking away the Rel. There it is.
We should get another look in the crowd of that horse.
Yeah, we do need the Duro horse back again. I imagine we will get a look in. We need to. Wait, can we see her? Maybe in the background, behind Ryu there. Not actually the case. 2 former KT players actually coaching both teams. Wow, kind of cool with Ryu and Score on the stage. We have generations of League of Legends here in front of us. Don't know whether generations is quite correct, as of course, you know, we're dealing with a little bit less time than that, but that's fine. It's what it feels like. And I'm worried for KT, like very worried for KT as far as this draft is concerned. I feel like GENG have so many tools. It's a well-rounded draft, and Ruler is just going to have so much protection in this game to just kind of do whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah. I think it's a tall task for KT. I mean, I think it's really hard to find a draft that's completely unwinnable, but I think it's going to be a hard task for Polu in particular on this Nautilus, playing into things like Anivia, Scion. You're such a squishy, engaged support, and you're kind of getting thrown into the mixer in this one.
Is that like Polu is like a cute little frog? Actually, really kind of like that. As here we are. I remember when that skin was banned, because the animations were just a little bit too powerful, but not to be the case anymore. It has been unleashed as KT, with this short-range draft and a Ziggs and a Dream, look to try and bring us to 6 games on the day. See whether they can. All right, KT fans in full voice here today. Let's see whether that's going to be enough to give them the gusto they need to pick up a victory and give us all of the League of Legends that we deserve and we want. I mean, it's a weekend, right? It's a Saturday. It's when we want to be enjoying as much LCK Cup as we possibly can.
It's also going to be the latest we've had weekend League of Legends in a while for LCK, because this is our first time having the late start for a long time. It's
going to be hard to know what day it is. It really did help me understand what time of the week it was.
Frame of reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now everything is just a 5 p.m. start. You know, I'll just never know. Don't ask me what day it is. If you ever need that information, I will not be able to help you. Especially when I'm running on very little sleep at the moment. As Canyon, dashing around his jungle, will be starting on his Grump. Well, starting on his blue. And heading from the blue side towards the bottom side of the map. Same can be said for Cuz here, though, who has gone red to Krugs. So both of them will be meeting on the bottom side Scuttle. So he's going to be able to win that scuffle here. As Slurkle doing some work onto Polu, but you can see the wave is being held by GENG very comfortably for the moment. Not something you'd expect to go any other way with a Ziggs kind of composition. Aiming wanting to have a few more buttons and a bit more AP before he can just make this lane completely uninteractive.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem early on with the Ziggs. It's just that, like, you know, you have your Q and then you wait in 6 seconds.
I mean, you can auto them. You got your short fuse.
Yeah, but it doesn't do that much damage early, and then Ruler's just like auto.
Yeah. All right, Scion has been doing a fair bit of losing. Do you think that's going to continue?
I don't think the odds are that high in this, but we'll see.
I'm glad they got their loss streak graphic out of the way, though, because Kane is generally relatively reliable at stopping those from being a thing. However, if we do want maximum League of Legends today, then that graphic could be very important and a possible reason why we might get it. It's Canyon getting some vision down for his team, but is otherwise just going to be moving towards this Scuttle as that one does spawn. And Cuz just going to be moving towards the top side of the map, will be taking the top lane one, not looking for a fight against this Ambessa right now.
Yeah, Ambessa pretty fast paced in the jungle. I've heard this is the thing with champions that get put in the jungle because they have changes to make them do more damage to monsters. You know, Wukong was one who got that, and then they like reduced it. So now he's not that fast of a clearer. But Ambessa, she's pretty fast. So you can see she finished a full clear quicker than the Wukong did. It's not a major issue, but over the game she should outpace the Wukong. And that's kind of the game plan, is that you just clear fast, you aim to get your Eclipse online, because that one item spike is insane, and just kind of have insane value. Yeah. And I think that's generally something we see GENG do a lot, just have good value.
Possible look in here for Canyon towards the top side of the map. As we've got a hook connecting onto Ruler, trying to offer a fair bit of damage back, but it's kind of difficult as the Ziggs still doing a fair bit of work here as Duro looking worse for wear, and aiming at full health able to get underneath this turret and start putting some pressure back on. Look at that, another bouncing bomb landing.
Once you get momentum in the lane as
Lamentum in the lane. Yes.
Momentum in the lane as Ziggs.
He's lamenting the lane with a lemon.
Yes, the lemon in the momentum in the lane as Ziggs.
Polenta and lemon.
You can just keep landing Qs, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. So now Ruler's not in a position he can really walk up. And he needs to stack up his passive to really trade. You're all about the burst trades as the Ziggs. You also have TP, so you can have...
Oh, flash out here from BDD is in they go. The egg is now down as Canyon just trying to protect the egg as best he can. And KT are going to be able to pick up first blood for BDD. Canyon will be able to answer with a kill on to the Rise. But still, first blood money over to BDD. Good to be able to talk about that again. And that is high value.
Yeah, I think the fact that you have the egg, the fact that Canyon's able to trade it back means you're pretty okay with it. Especially Golden on Bessa feels really good. But still a nice early pickup there from KT. Cuz and BDD showing they could do the flash from BDD just at the last second before the stun was activated. And then Cuz it's just like, yeah, I'm just going to kill this egg.
Yeah, fair enough too. And BDD might have been able to get himself out of the way, but then I imagine Cuz would have been under a little bit more threat. I mean, it's a bit difficult. They probably needed a bit of the extra DPS to make sure Chovy couldn't get another round of spells off.
Yeah, the call was like, we have to finish the egg, because in a situation where Chovy comes back and stuns, and I think he still had his flash, so if he stuns and flashes away, then you're really cooked.
Yeah.
So they just, secure the kill, you take that situation.
Wow, what an annoying champion. All right, this very aggressive train making his way towards the top side of the map. We'll be clearing out all of these minions very satisfyingly.
Yep. Chovy been a little bit aggressive. We just have Duro to back him up.
Yep. And Polo is going to have to flash. Get out of the way.
Why you don't want to play Nautilus into Anivia.
Well, it's also why you don't want to be keen right now, as Hook didn't connect onto Canyon as well, as Polo is likely to die because everyone's distracted by Keen, who is still alive somehow. There's the Realm Warp getting BDD out of there, though, as the rest of GENG now going to move around. Zombie Scion helping out here as well, as another great wall comes through. That's the end of Cuz. Has now perfect.
Can they find BDD?
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did. As the Glacial Storm, as Rune Prison comes on through, BDD wanting to give that kill over to Duro, and will be able to do so, and there it is. Perfect, just looking to try and crocodile his way out. And GENG looking a little bit better after that one, is now aiming, throwing down a minefield, but
what a satchel.
Ruler just getting thrown around. Yeah.
Oh, the ult?
Mega Inferno Bomb, and Ruler does have the barrier, but he absolutely needed it.
Yep, a lot of pressure there. I will say, though, it was really funny in that passage of play.
Oh god, that was very scary.
Thank the minions, they helped him out. But that passage of play, because we saw Keen survive so long, so he's kind of coming down here isolated. Meanwhile, GENG forced Polu's flash. But he buys so much time, and also because he's a Scion, he's going to die and then have his passive. But the main thing with Scion passive is once it activates, everyone just runs away, right? But because he buys so much time, eventually, when it actually activates, Chovy moves in and walls Cuz in with him. So he can just actually get to hit him. So he gets good value from the passive, and then BDD's trying to be cheeky, but gets caught out and just dies to the tower.
Yeah, did at least give the kill over to Duro, so I guess best case scenario. And GENG only ahead by about 500 gold, not exactly the end of the world. As Canyon looking to start off this Ocean Dragon. You got Cuz moving down, but BDD is a fair way away. No Ghost available either, so should mean that GENG will be able to just take down this Dragon. Duro with eyes on where Cuz is.
Man, Duro's so fair.
Yeah, he is. That's 700 gold in the lead. It's kind of ridiculous. As good stun connects onto BDD. As Chovy just flapping around this lane, having a very good time. Well, it's probably going to be relatively slow going in this one, as we do have an Anivia in the game. Of course, very understandably more of a scaling champion. Has been a game delayer of all time.
Oh,
that's a phenomenal wall there from Chovy. As, yeah, illustrating once again exactly what you were talking about there.
Yeah, I said it and it rings true every time I see it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you got subbed in for this and you're not going to have a fun time. I'm telling you. You're not going to have a fun time.
I hope it was actually Polo's decision and he wasn't just like forced into this, because it's really not looking like a whole lot of fun. Continuing to do so here as well as Polo with the Aftershock, but he is just going to get publicly executed As, okay, Cuz going on forward, looking for a bit of an angle here. Is BDD able to fire out a lot of damage? Mega Inferno Bomb avoided majoritively, but BDD will be able to grab the kill onto Duro. And Keen allowed to live this time around as Ruler and Aiming once again fighting this one out. As Aiming, pool party skin as well, so shout outs to that one. Definitely the best choice.
It was the right skin.
Indeed.
I will say at least KT's, Polu's teammates gotta have fun there. The rest of KT gotta have fun in that passage of play. So, you know, Nautilus, no fun allowed, but other people are doing stuff. Aiming also contributing with the ult.
Yeah, and actually doing okay in the 1v1 here in this lane as well. As BDD is almost just dead as he...
Oh, he missed it!
Oh, the flash, and Chovy is able to lock down the kill there. Somehow had enough mana and has a catalyst, so that's probably why.
Yeah, catalyst plus tier, it's really deceptive because it looks like he has no mana, but he actually has...
exactly.
Like, he actually has 240 mana right now.
All right, it's stacked up quite a lot.
Yeah, so... deceptive in these situations.
Well, Perfect, unfortunately, just spend some time in the sky unexpectedly. He will unleash their teleports.
BDD, just a bit unfortunate because I want to see exactly... Okay, we'll see this play first. But yeah, this is just the experience playing a Nautilus into a Nivea.
Yeah.
You don't get to play the game. They did commit a lot to it. I don't think that was necessarily.
Cuz got a lot of value on his Wukong as well.
Yeah, did a lot of damage.
Knockups.
There is a lot of AoE from the side of KT. They can't just blend the people if they get a bit too close.
이거 미드도 좀 예민해. 라이즈 노텔이라 억지로 라인 풀려한다.
Yep, Chovy having a bit of a chat about the state of the Rise. Oh, that wall was so beautifully done.
Oh, he walked out and then walked back in. He wasn't quite in
라이즈가
it.
실수했어.
No comment until there was.
I think it might have been that thing, there was a pause about it, I can't remember where, but ages ago, where like if you pat out at the last second or something, it like...
Yeah, if you're clicking out of it while it goes off, then you don't get in.
Because where was it? Was it Caps who paused for that or something, like ages ago?
Yeah, I remember there was something about it, and it's the way it's coded. If you want to be in it, you need to be clicking in it while it's going off. As all right, Dura comes on forward. That is going to be a miss on the public execution from Canyon, though, just barely. As Chovy just throws out a Glacial Storm.
Wait, Canyon went Ojin
Ojin
instead of Eclipse.
First.
Yeah, so going to be a bit bulkier, but I mean, to be honest, Eclipse is just such an insane spike on Ambassador. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it is a little bit strange that he's gone for that one.
But it does mean he's going to be a bit bulkier in comparison to the typical Eclipse.
Well, quest done. Chovy, the first one to do so. 2, 1, and 4 on the Anivia, 700 gold in the lead.
And we can see his... oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, nah, it doesn't quite have the shoes yet.
Yeah, we did see Aiming quickly follow with his quest. Also hasn't finished his boots, but they do at least go into his little slot.
Yep, he does have now a little bit more space in the inventory.
Which he did just fill it a second ago with the final triple tonic
Hey, there you
item.
go.
So he didn't need the space for a moment. There's the upgraded sock shoes.
Nicely done. Perfect is going to spend time in the sky again.
He knows where Perfect is.
Yeah.
It's like he has map hacks.
I think he probably watched Perfect on that ward walk into that brush. Then the fact that he was hitting him in exactly the right position. Can confirm that Aiming does not have map hacks. Throws the ulti to Narnia for some reason.
He thought Ruler was recalling that. We've all been there. We've all.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, that was almost a bouncing bomb hit. As Ruler is getting quite frustrated by this Ziggs hit on the bottom side. And yeah, now that Ludens is complete, just feels very, very good. Look at that. My gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Does finish the quest, though, finally. Here does Ruler. And we'll be able to probably
one really
complete
annoying
this
thing with
item.
Ziggs is, so they changed plates.
Yes.
Plates used to be, they got more resistances as you took down the plates. So each plate was the same amount of health, but the lower ones are tankier.
Yeah.
They've changed it, so now lower plates are more health, but the same resistances, so it's a better visual representation.
But it means
Problem is, it means Ziggs can only kill the final plate with a base satchel.
Yeah, kind of.
So it's a bit of a nerf to Ziggs satchel value, because you used to be able to kill a lot more of the tower compared to now.
Very frustrating when there are Ziggs nerfs and you're on a cast with Orcs.
Tragic.
Absolutely. Some water balloons being thrown around here as Duro taking a fair bit of damage. There's the flash in from Cuz as they're looking to try and take down the rail. Somehow it's her that takes this dragon, and Cuz trying to get some work done, but he's just dead to the Anivia as Chovy taking control of the battlefield. Another fantastic ulti out from Canyon, though, is now aiming. Now that they've closed the gap, he is very, very dead. Ruler probably wanted that kill, but it's going to go over to the Ambessa. 3-0-3 for Canyon now in this game. And wow, 4-1-4 here for Chovy. It is a rough time for KT.
Yeah, honestly, in that fight, looked like KT had a good concept, you know, going for the... Oh,
flash forward onto Ruler, who flashes away immediately.
Yeah, going for the dive angle with the Realm Warp in from BDD, trying to get on the back line, but it just felt like they weren't fully able to commit damage onto Chovy. So we'll see the Realm Warp come in to try and commit onto the back line, but so much damage has already been put onto Duro. So, like, you look at Chovy, Nautilus is hitting him a bit of the Wukong ultimate, but Canyon's peeling, the wall comes in, the follow-up's not fully there, BDD backs off a little early, and you can understand because you can tell the fight's lost, but it just felt like the target selection wasn't that good, and the DPS, the consistent damage from GENG is really good in return.
Yeah.
And they just kind of blended everyone.
And it was as soon as that bottom side of the fight was won, then the Ambessa immediately gets to ult over to the other side as well. So you just get so much value out of this champion, as Chovy is going to once again just push BDD out of this lane.
You know, I think what BDD could go is they change, you know, the boots of swiftness, the tier 3 ones?
Yeah, yeah.
They get 40% slow resist.
That would be pretty good.
It used to be, so it's 25% base, the upgraded ones have 40%. So I actually think that might be the play into Anivia. That being said, Merc Tread's also great because they give the shield and the tenacity, but if you want to like run out of the ult, the swiftness could be decent too.
Might be an angle.
But finishing your boots, definitely solid. That being said, he does want to finish his Archangels, which is also good on Rise.
Oh, teleport in here from GENG. Meanwhile, Duro in a little bit of trouble, is just going to have to flash to get out of the way. Cute little satchel was in position there as Chovy not quite able to join too much of a fight, as it looks like Shelly is going to be the next focus. Canyon very far away from the potential battle as he does have a Krug camp up. As Perfect is almost just dead to Chovy putting down a circle.
Yeah, you don't want to play against Anivia.
No.
As a lot of these champions.
Maybe just at all.
Yeah.
Well, definitely not a 4-1-4 Anivia with a 2.5 thousand gold lead.
Yeah.
That might be part of it, as he does have the most gold in the game. Trying to figure out ways for KT to find their way back into this game is a difficult task, but I will give it to Orcs right now. How does KT get back into this game?
I think picks are a good idea, right? You have a lot of ways to close the distance if you like Realm Warp onto people. That could definitely be viable.
Oh no! Oh, at least he manages to get in and get all of the minions. I thought that maybe Chovy was just going to be able to lock him out from everything ever.
Play around Realm Warp, play around picks, try and dive on the vulnerable targets. I think that's the MO, right? Ruler's flashless. But I think if they keep you at a safe distance, you're just never going to succeed.
Oh, Duro able to use that crash down very comfortably.
Also, turn back time and don't pick Nautilus.
Yeah, that could be part of it. That could be a pretty good angle here. As Kane just having a really good time here in this bottom lane all alone. And Chovy doing the same thing towards the top side. Getting towards turrets here for KT. It's feeling like a difficulty, especially with Anivia now that she has a couple of items complete. It's just really, really hard for your minions to survive. As at least there's aiming here as well on the Ziggs. Wave clear is something that KT certainly have as well. But I feel like Ruler is feeling a little bit better in this matchup at the same time, and so sort of not a whole lot is going KT's way.
I think it's at the point where you don't really have to interact with the Ziggs. You kind of just clear the wave, and he clears the wave, and you just run away. Which is much better than being trapped in a lane and not having as much fun.
Yeah.
As it was earlier.
Well, we didn't actually mention that it's a Hextech Soul. That's a frightening prospect if GENG are able to get towards that one. They already have a couple of dragons put together.
If they're already perma-slowed anyway, what difference does it make?
That is a good point. That is a good point. It's like everyone is Anivia once they get that one together.
If everyone's Anivia, then no one is.
Syndrome. What a fantastic character. Okay, KT trying to get this lane together. Did you know that Jack Black turned down being Syndrome in The Incredibles?
I saw that.
You know what? Cool. That being said, I still think I don't even know who did it, but they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it was great. I feel like you see so many things with like casting where it's like, oh, this was originally the intention for the character. Like this is a person we were so set on, but they turned it down and we went for this person, and you just couldn't imagine their original intent.
Yeah. All right, we got a bit of a fight brewing here as Duro going down low, but so is Polu, who is continuing to have a bad time. There is another wall to make his life just unbearable. As now Perfect does get in there with that Dominus popped, and there is the public execution. Oh my goodness, BDD down already, cuz so far away from the fight is Perfect, getting so much work done. My god, this crocodile is gigantic. Everyone on GENG just flashing away, but they flash to safety and keep themselves alive, aiming with nothing left in the tank, and he is the last man standing. GENG win once again.
Yeah, it was a good effort, honestly, by Perfect, trying to do the most... Oh, Chovy? Well, he's egged. Oh, he's not. He actually, yeah. I think maybe some Roa healing might have actually saved him. Keen doesn't need Roa healing. He's just a tank.
He is. Polo also he hit the hook, and then it was the then what type scenario, and they didn't quite have an answer to that one.
I think the real lesson here is if you see a Nibby on the enemy team, never pick Nautilus. Don't even think about it. You look at Polu, he just doesn't get to play the game. He
even flashes, and then Kirby's like, oh, remember I can make your life the worst. And he just puts down another wall.
Yeah, and Perfect comes in. Actually, Duro smashes the shield with his Q that he came in, the max health shield and the teleport.
Yeah.
But Perfect gets a lot of value here, flashing in, doing a lot of damage as of an Ecton. The follow-ups there from Cuz, but it's just not quite enough. You know, you think if they were a little bit less far behind, if there was, maybe a bit more items in the right place, that could have been, but the goal discrepancy is so absurd.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of summoners not there, maybe if Ruler and Chovy didn't have flashes, that could have been, but GENG very far ahead at this point.
Yeah, it is cresting the 8,000 mark here at 20 minutes.
You know what? Now I have to move the topic of conversation to something really difficult.
Okay.
That I've been ruminating on for the past 10 minutes.
All right.
POM. Because it's really difficult, because I feel like game 1 and game 2, different vibes, right?
Yeah, massively different. I mean, game 1, it's like Kane 800%.
And then, but I feel like Duro was also great in game 1.
Oh,
then,
true.
Then game 2, it's like Canyon Chovy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
And like Chovy really just wasn't really doing too much in game number 1. Canyon, very similar story.
Yeah, so where do I go from there? You know?
I don't know. Maybe just go, let the recency bias take you.
No, because everyone always
remember how good Keen was.
Yeah, he was really good. And he had a lot of cute. Okay, he just played Sion this game, but
he read where perfect was on the map lots of times.
Yeah, it's just difficult because
watch him. No, later on in this game, he's going to hit a quadra Q, and we're just going to.
I mean, look, I already know who the POM is going to be because there's two factors at play.
Right.
Firstly, recency bias. And secondly, when in doubt, Chovy. So
that's a very good point.
It's probably going to be Chovy, right? But that doesn't mean my vote necessarily needs to follow those rules. I'm thinking about who I think deserves POM. But it's difficult because also, Ruler in both games was pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty
good. I think Ruler's been across both games, solid. I mean, he did get kind of beat up in lane, actually, in this one.
I think it depends on what your, concept of POM is, you know? Is it the average performance level? Is that what gets you it? Or is it the ones that were the most impactful as Duro?
He did kind of get beat up in lane a lot in this one, but he, Isn't
it sad as well? BDD doesn't even have his mid lane quest shoes yet. And Chovy stole his item.
Yeah, why doesn't he buy boots? That's your quest. Buy boots, BDD, please.
He's trying to work out whether Swifties are actually the best choice.
I've stunned him with this with the decision. Is he going Swifties or is he going Merc?
It's all your fault.
Pick one of them. Pick one of them. It doesn't really matter that much. Just pick a boot. Honestly, you can take Sorks or whatever. Take anything, just a boot. There's a lot of AD threats in the team. You can also go play Steel Caps.
So much Crystalline Overgrowth. Here's a POM play from Keen. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the people watching. I'm already leaning into POM under the assumption that KT could still win the series. That is a possibility. Wow, I can't believe I suggested the fact that GENG would
GENG still have a destroyable Nexus on the map.
Yes,
that is very true.
That's a possibility. So, you know, sorry for jumping the gun a little bit. I apologize.
I don't know whether you really jumped the gun that much, in all fairness, but, you know, theoretically, there is the ability.
Oh, Polar!
Oh, Polar!
Oh,
he lived! Okay! Flash and train! Oh, never mind. Kurt is just going to murder him. What the heck was that? That was a very weird interaction. Never you mind, as now GENG with a man advantage, but Canyon's very, very low. There's Mega Inferno Bomb as well as they're trying to do the damage here to Ruler. Oh my goodness, the CC is disgusting, but PDD does get a fair bit of damage down. Perfect, unfortunately, not able to do enough. And GENG just so good at controlling the battlefield. Ruler, the only casualty in the fight, and that will mean Baron goes down for GENG, and they can use that to push, potentially for the win.
That was just domination. And again, just don't play Nautilus. I mean, it's just so funny the fact that it's not just the Anivia, but like, look how targeted. They see him. The Scion Q, the Slickle, the Wall, the Umbessa ult. He's not a jungler.
Duro was already there.
Yeah, guys, he's not a jungler. He's the support.
No.
And they just put so much effort like that. I'd understand if he was the jungler, they're like, let's deal with the smite, but it just feels like he picked Nautilus and it became personal.
Yeah.
Like, they just fully locked into killing him.
And KT, like, they wanted to kill Ruler, and you know what? They did.
They succeeded at that, so credit to them.
Well, GENG killed Cuz. They did do that as well. As now aiming, also potentially in a whole bunch of... Oh, that was sick from Keen. Give that man the POM. He deserves it. It's a double kill for the Scion. And yeah, PDD does now have said shoes completed. There that is. It's not going to matter too much as now Perfect dives in on top of Canyon. Canyon not looking too bothered by it as he just kills BDD. There is the ulti as Polo has now provided himself as the target.
Damage.
Why is Canyon's health bar so high?
He doesn't take damage.
He's still just dashing around. Polo's going to die as an afterthought. And yeah, Perfect realizing that he needs to just try and slice his way out of here. There's a Hextech Solox. And that means that Perfect is going to need a little bit more, but he will be able to get back to the fountain and keep himself alive.
He's not a handbag yet.
All right, well, let's see where the Canyon is at. He's not killable.
Guys,
he's not killable. He's
just
not killable.
He's 4 levels up on Cuz.
What?
He's 4 levels up
I'm
on
so
Cuz.
bothered. I mean, I kind of thought that Ambessa now, you know, after a year, is kind of okay. You know, she's an okay spot. It's not the case at all. Now I know why they banned the Ambessa instead of the Rumble in game number 1.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Perfect and Polo, both of them just having the worst time. And the worst part is, they chose this.
Max, who is my POM?
I have no idea.
It's so difficult.
I still think it's Keen. Like, watch this play.
This is
Look
pretty
at Keen.
sick.
Flashes for the knock-up. Well-deserved kill. Watch aiming.
Okay, this predict was good, but he didn't finish the channel on the Q.
Oh, it's still, I mean...
But he still hit him when he got the Hextech slot. It was pretty great. It was pretty cool. It was pretty slick.
But maybe Canyon's going to recency bias his way towards it as... Oh, here's the train! To the POM! As in goes Keen, aiming so dead so quickly. Ruler's going to finally get himself another kill in this game.
If we're going by recency bias, that train was the last thing I've seen.
Exactly. There we go, Ox. We've sorted it out. POM for Keen. Phenomenal Scion play in this game. As KT, there is just no... It's almost a 20,000 gold lead.
Wait, look at Polu. Look at Polu.
Polu's trying to have a good time, and it's just not happening. Into the blender once again as the Crocodile is also taken down. BDD and Cuz on their fountain, but it's a triple kill for Ruler. There are 2 members in the fountain here. Everyone quickly dive. Give him the Penta. It looks like GENG are not really interested in that as towers are going down. Oh, they're actually going in. They're looking for it. Cuz going to get taken out, but it's Keen that gets the kill. And that is going to cement his POM for me. That is my vote going over to the Scion 100%. And GENG will finish playing with their food and take down KT into 2-0 fashion.
Honestly, a little bit of styling on the opponents. I think game 1 was closer. Came down to Rumble, domination from Keen. Game 2,
Scion domination from Keen.
Bit of a victory lap. And now I'm going to let Max talk as I
Are you still deliberating?
Furrow my brow.
We've got Ion waiting to pick up your POM selection. You gotta hurry up, man.
I'm thinking intensely.
Oh, you better think fast. Come on. You know where to put it. Okay. It's right at the top. It's right at the top. Give it to the barbecue. There he is! Oh, looking absolutely fantastic. I don't actually know where Orcs put his vote, but we'll find out on the space.
You know what? I feel okay with my vote.
I very much hope that they're just all over the place. Like, every vote is just everywhere.
You know what I actually
wins.
hope for? I hope it'd just be great if I'm the only one and everyone else is just unanimous.
Yeah, that would be very funny.
That would
like, you're the only one that has a really hard time. Everyone else is like, yeah, it's obviously
It was so obvious. Are you... What is wrong with this guy?
This guy's so stupid. You should have seen that Varus play. It was so good. Absolutely fantastic.
So I think some takeaways. GENG, but you got a League of Legends. Don't let Keen get Rumble. Don't let... I mean, honestly, just don't let GENG get champions.
Yeah, I think getting champions is probably the worst part here.
Hey, Group Baron on 3!
Fighting back!
My question...
GENG.
My question, okay, outside of T1 and GENG, who's going to be the first to get a point for Group Baron? Because, you know, guys, GENG and T1, doing great. Everyone else, step it up.
It's not looking like Bro. Let's have a look. Nongshim, the DN Supers, and the Bros outside of GENG T1. I think it's the Supers that do it.
Yeah?
That's what I think. Wait, who's facing off against DRX first? That's what I want to know. If we find that out, then we might get our answer. Yeah, that's probably what I'll say. As this was just
honestly perfect and Cuz really trying here, but
they really did give it a good old college try.
No, I think the problem was this wasn't a World semi-final.
Yeah, it's a bit early in the year for that.
Yeah, so
it's a rough time.
We'll say they're charging. They're saving their power for then.
And, you know, sometimes you just get counterpicked by an Anivia, like, and all of your picks really get ruined by it.
I'm really... If this wasn't a lesson
ignore the draft order.
If this wasn't a lesson for you, if you see an Anivia, don't pick, like, short-range champs. Like, the Ziggs was good into the Anivia, but, like, definitely do not pick...
Renekton.
Nautilus. I mean, Renekton have had a bad time, but Nautilus in particular, terrible into Anivia. Really not great. And the problem is as well, because they had the Scion and the Ambessa, by going the Ziggs, you just don't have enough sustained damage to kill anyone.
Yeah.
So
and we saw that happen. They did a whole bunch of like AoE CC and cool stuff happened.
Oh man.
And then it was just doomed.
Yeah.
It was a tough one.
Yeah, King got the last kill, so that ends in POM, right?
I mean, I think that he deserves POM by a country mile. I know that there were some in chat saying that it's probably a Canyon angle, and Canyon used to be the king of POGs back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's an understandable one as well. Of course, Chovy, the current king of POMs, so he is likely to be a hot topic as well. So we'll just have to see who it is going to be that picks it up.
Yeah, I don't mind a Canyon POM.
I don't mind the Canyon POM either. I think he had a very good
Chovy had a great game too. If it was player of the game, I think Chovy game 2.
Oh,
strong 100%. Argument, but you know,
it'd just be Keen and Chovy, and then we get the Keen and Chovy interview, and it'd be easy. But not quite like that. We're gonna find out who it's going to be. It's going to be coming up in a couple of seconds' time. Very, very interested in who it's going to be, and it's Chovy. Recency bias, baby. Recency bias.
Nah, look, Chovy's a phenomenal player, right? And the Anivia game was phenomenal, but that Yone game, he was in like first gear.
Look at Chovy's face as well. Like, if I actually had all of the the photos of the players,
like, I want you to give me POM.
Yeah, and Chovy's the one that's like, you better vote for me. I'd be like, okay, I will. I mean, I'm a bit frightened, and look, I'm conflict averse, so I'd prefer not to.
But what did I say during the game? What did I say? Recency bias? When in doubt, Chovy. I called it. I said it was going to be Chovy. I said it was going to be. I knew. And if it's unanimous and I'm the only person who didn't vote Chovy.
Oh, you didn't vote Chovy?
I didn't vote. No, I didn't vote Chovy.
I don't know who you voted for. So, was it Keen? Did you give it the Keen vote? Do you have a good comment for it?
I have to see. I haven't done my comment yet.
Do you have a good comment?
I don't know yet.
Can you give us a hint on what the comment might be about?
Well, I have to think of it.
Give me a few letters. Can we hangman it?
There might be an R.
There's an R?
Maybe a
Basically,
U,
you've
an M,
given away-
a B, L, E.
Oh, okay, we've got a few different options. But now it's time for the interview. Good night, everyone. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Chovy on the side of GENG. Congratulations, Chovy! With GENG's 2 consecutive victory, Baron Group has reached 3 wins. How do you feel? First of all, just getting the win feels great, but the 2-0 is even greater. You know, today was actually a 2025 World Semifinals rematch. And I'm sure this win was very desirable. What mindset did you play with today? After Worlds, it was a rematch. And, you know, I think we are really just more desperate about getting another win for Baron Group. But we just really wanted to focus on doing well in the match.
이렇게 경기를 잘하다 보니까 초비상이라는 말이 상대팀에서는 나올 수밖에 없었습니다. 1세트
Yeah, it looks like Chovy was absolutely crushing today. And in game 1, GENG went for second pick, but then you blind picked Rumble, so what was the idea?
럼블 1픽이 그냥 블루 1픽의 가치가 있었다고 생각합니다.
I feel like there was a lot of value in taking Rumble as the first pick on blue side. And in game 1, you actually played Yone, which was very effective into Talia. Is the matchup pretty similar to how it was before?
뭐 도란 방패랑 제발
Well,
버프가 있긴 한데 그래도
there is a little bit of a nerf on the Doran's shield, but I feel like it's actually pretty playable, and I think it really ends up being a skills matchup. And it looked like your team had faith in your Yone, and you did not let them down. So do you think it went as planned?
잘 풀렸는데 사실 이게
With Yone? Yeah, it went really well. As the comp, Yone doesn't really have a lot to do, so you have to wait for the enemy to come in. And I was getting bored, so I was just trying to do something, and there were some incidents here and there. And in game 2, you picked Anivia against Rise, and you got a solo kill in lane, and Skilled probably stressed your enemy out. It looks like you really showcased why you ended up picking Anivia. So did it go as expected? Yeah, I think in the early game, the laning phase, it went as expected, and you know, after Rise ended up using all his abilities, I think it was just that one timing that Anivia really shines, and it's just the timing that I'm able to really capitalize off of. Following last season, GENG remains strong this year, and since you've spent 2 years with the same roster, what have you improved as a team? I think having the same roster is very advantageous in terms of really building up that synergy. So instead of focusing on, you know, the troubles regarding synergy, I think it's just adaptation in the end with all the changes that you have to really go through. And now, next week, you will face BNK Fear X. What are your goals? You know, for us, we want to make sure to try hard to keep up and keep on winning all of our matches in the future. And we want to repay all of our fans' support by showing a good performance. And that's the end of the interview with Chovy, and back to the space. Thank you.